Well, hi, I'm Michaela Evans. I'm a parent educator with Kentucky Spin, and we are here today to talk about our Spotlight on Kentucky. And that's just where we showcase our favorite agencies all around the state and talk about the services that they have, that they provide. And so today we have Kim Ziegler here from the Deaf Blind Project to talk to us about how they serve families in Kentucky. We're very excited about that. Kim, do you want to introduce yourself and explain to everybody what the Deaf Blind Project is?
Hi, I'm Kim Ziegler. I'm the Family Engagement Coordinator for the Kentucky Deaf Blind Project. To tell you a little bit about the project, we've been around since the late 70s and really was formed from the U.S. Department of Labor to help teach with the educators and other family members about children with deaf blindness. So we look to focus on that group of learners.
Okay, that's wonderful. And I definitely feel like a lot of resources either go to those who are deaf or those who are blind, but there's not as many resources out there for those that are dual impaired. So really glad to have you guys talk about the services that you offer today and how you're serving families. Do you care to share a little bit about your why and why working with the deaf blind population is something that you're interested in, and what keeps you here?
I came into this world with my children that were born at 26 weeks. My boys were born very early, so I was introduced to a new world and really wanted to be more involved. So I started work for the Deaf Blind Project, and I really love it here because I get to meet all the parents that have walked the same path that I have, and we continue to find resources and develop new trainings and new information that helps children learn better.
That's wonderful. I love that you bring that personal touch to the job, and you can really experience what other families are walking through, and at any point in their journey, because you've lived through it. I really feel like that makes all the difference. Is there? I'm sorry. Go ahead, Kim.
So there are a lot of kids that aren't actually what you would say known that they are within that deaf blind world, and there are a lot of times they are mentioned to be multiple disabled instead of noting that they have a both vision and hearing loss. And sometimes being labeled deaf blind is really scary because it doesn't mean that you're totally deaf or totally blind. It just means that you have a loss on both, and that qualifies children for our services. So we're indirect services, same as you all, that we're not advocates that go out there, but we're here to support families, school teams, and other providers that work around the child.
That's wonderful. What are some of the services and programs that you guys offer to your families?
So we do trainings. We can do those on the large scale, or we can do them within a small scale where a group of teachers wanted to be around a certain student on a certain topic. We attend IEP meetings to provide support and to keep that knowledge base open to know how we can help in those different situations. We are always here to provide any resources to do some of that legwork. We're here to listen, to be a part of that child's and the family's, to help them along the way. So everything that we do pretty much is individualized on what that family or child needs.
That's great. And you guys serve, is it first to 22? So you can kind of follow through the lifespan, correct?
We do. We follow from the lifespan of that time, and we're here. We help move those kids into voc rehab. So we're here to make that transition and pass knowledge on that we have gained throughout those years as they enter the adulthood.
What a wonderful resource. What are some typical questions that you receive from parents?
Mainly what you're asking a lot of is what do you do and what should I expect? So we usually talk about the vision and the hearing, the CVI, the cortical vision impairment and the effects of that. We talk about auditory processing, which is a little bit different than having a hearing loss. It's more understanding how that information travels from your hearing into your brain. We talk about resources that are available and the importance of getting on all those lists, the SEL list and the Michelle P. waiver, and some of those resources families are unfamiliar with. So that's where our beginning pieces. And we contact the teams of the child at school, let them know that we're available to come in and do observations, to give some feedback, to sit down and brainstorm, and to do intensive TA if needed.
That's wonderful. I love to hear that you guys can work with the school as well, because I feel like so many times there's a gap between the services that children with disabilities receive and that information at the school. Both have great resources, but a lot of times they don't really overlap the way that they could or they should. So I think that's a tremendous quality that you guys have. Is there something critical that you feel like families need to know right now? Anything during COVID or just at this point about your agency, anything particular you guys have going on?
We're doing webinars right now. So that's our biggest push since everybody is at home and living by restrictions. We're doing a large group of webinars that covers a vast topics that are out there. We've talked about CBI, brain development, active learning, all of those information that helps us to know why we do things and how to do them. Once we learn why we do them for our kids, I know it's hard to be at home and with our kids to teach on a Zoom format. So if we can help the parents know what to teach, how to teach within just their home, just living in your home and know what to do, then it makes it a little bit easier and you're getting all the good information for your child.
Absolutely. And I love that you guys are doing the webinars right now. So much information I think is helpful to anybody, not even just families that have individuals with disabilities. Great info there. If a family member needed services, how would they get in touch with the Deaf Blind Project, or how do they apply or sign up for services?
Well, that's really easy. So there's several ways you can do that. But the easiest way is to go to our website, the Kentucky Deaf Blind Project. Just Google that. And there is a tab that says submit a referral. So you can do that. It can be done by anyone. You can do it yourself. A family member can do it. A professional can do it. Neighbor can do that. As long as the parent knows that they are being referred, that is what's really helpful. So I will call them once that referral is made to set up a meeting that we can talk about services and how we can be helpful to them.
That's wonderful. So many times it feels like you have to get a doctor referral to get services. So I love that anyone can contact you, whether that be a parent or a teacher, and you don't have to wait to get that appointment and then wait on the doctor to fax the paperwork and all of those things that can be difficult for families. Is there anything that, as we wrap up, is there anything that you want families that view this video to know about the Deaf Blind Project, or a certain message that you would like to convey?
Well, I think about being a parent. You know, you think all the time that you're not doing a very good job, and the parents that I get to meet doing wonderful with their child. And I just want to say that, you know, you're very valued in this, especially during this time of COVID, but always you're valued as that parent, and you're doing really great.
What a wonderful message to put out there. We all need to hear that every once in a while. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Kim. I really appreciate your wealth of information and your willingness to partner with us on this. And I look forward to sharing it with all of the families that we serve so they can find out about these great services that the Deaf Blind Project provides.
Thank you, Michaela.
Thank you.